How many people survived the sinking of the Titanic? Here are some interesting facts about Titanic. 1. The Titanic is the only ocean liner to ever be sunk by an iceberg. 2. After hitting the iceberg, it took the Titanic 2 hours and 40 minutes to sink. 3. The Titanic could have been saved if it wasn't for a 30-second delay in giving the order to change course after spotting the iceberg. 4. Most lifeboats launched off the Titanic were not filled to capacity. 5. The Titanic's chief baker fortified himself with alcohol and thus survived the freezing water for 2 hours until he was rescued. 6. The budget for the movie Titanic was higher than the Titanic itself. 7. The musicians of the Titanic kept playing music for hours as the ship sank. 8. Only 333 bodies of the Titanic's victims were recovered, 1 in 5 of the over 1,500 victims. 9. 4 forward compartments could flood without risk of the Titanic sinking. 6 did. 10. The Titanic's fourth funnel was fake. It was added to make the ship look more powerful and symmetrical. 11. The Japanese who survived the Titanic crash was called a coward in his country for not dying with the other passengers. 12. The most expensive first-class suites in the Titanic were to have cost up to £870, £75,156 today. 13. Nearly a dozen couples were celebrating their honeymoon on the Titanic. 14. 53% of the people on the Titanic could have survived using the lifeboats. Only 31% did. 15. Not a single engineer, out of the 30, made it off the Titanic. They stayed and kept the power on so others could escape. 16. It took 73 years to find the wreck of the Titanic. 17. A man who survived the sinking of a ship in 1871 was finally able to overcome his fears and decided to sail again in 1912. He died in the sinking of the Titanic. 18. In 1898, 14 years before the Titanic sank, author Morgan Robertson wrote a book about an unsinkable ship called the Titan that crashed into an iceberg and sank. 19. James Cameron sought Hollywood funding for the movie Titanic, not because he wanted to make the movie, but because he wanted to dive to the shipwreck. 20. The estimated value of the cash, bonds, and jewelry carried by the Titanic's passengers was $6 million. 21. The movie Titanic won 11 Oscars, but none for acting. 22. Titanic 2 will be a close replica of the Titanic, and is set to sail in 2018. 23. The Titanic crew had no binoculars, which may have helped them see the iceberg. They were inside a locker and the key was lost. 24. After the Titanic's sinking, almost all of those in the water died of cardiac arrest or other bodily reactions to freezing water within 15 to 30 minutes. 25. The Titanic's architect, Thomas Andrews, was among those who died in the sinking.